13 things your cat did that should have been a warning. Cats are masters of subtlety. While dogs may bark, whine, or leap into action to get our attention, cats tend to whisper their messages in the quietest of ways. Sometimes those whispers are signals of distress or danger, signs that something in their body, environment, or even in your relationship with them isn't quite right. Today, we're decoding these mysterious feline behaviors by uncovering 13 things your cat did that should have been a warning. These are not the usual tips you've heard before. Some of these signs are so subtle that they often slip past even experienced cat parents. By the end, you'll have a sharper eye for what your cat is trying to tell you, and why ignoring these cues could have serious consequences. And trust me, the last one may completely change how you see your cat's behavior forever. 13. The silent greeting that feels off. Most cats greet their humans with some kind of ritual. A meow, a tail lift, maybe a little head bump. But what happens when one day that routine vanishes? A silent greeting might not seem alarming at first. After all, cats can be moody, right? But when a cat who normally acknowledges you suddenly withdraws into total quiet, it's not about attitude, it's about survival. In nature, silence is how prey animals hide vulnerability. Your cat might be masking discomfort or pain, hoping predators, or even you, won't notice they're feeling weak. If your once talkative companion suddenly greets you with blank eyes and no sound, it's a subtle but urgent clue. Something may be brewing beneath the surface, whether it's physical illness or emotional stress. 12. Freezing in mid-play. Cats play like miniature predators, pouncing, darting, twisting. But there's a peculiar behavior that's easy to miss. A sudden, statuesque freeze mid-motion. If your cat is in the middle of chasing a toy and abruptly stops, holding a rigid pose for just a second or two, this isn't simple distraction. It can indicate that something internally has shifted. Perhaps a brief wave of dizziness, a sharp flash of pain, or even early neurological changes. Many owners laugh it off, thinking their cat just lost interest. But in truth, repeated freeze moments, especially during high-energy play, could be an early warning sign of issues like joint instability or seizures. Keep an eye on the pattern. One freeze isn't much, but several over time deserve attention. 11. Avoiding a single patch of flooring. Cats have strong territorial instincts. They roam their environment with precise knowledge of every corner and scent. So when a cat suddenly refuses to step on a particular patch of flooring, a certain rug, a hallway tile, or even a specific stair, it's rarely random. The surface might be physically uncomfortable, like too cold or slick, but there's another deeper reason to consider. Cats have an acute sense of smell, and they may be detecting a faint chemical odor or a trace of mold that we humans can't perceive. In some cases, their avoidance has even been linked to gas leaks or electrical issues in the wiring beneath the floor. When your cat seems to skirt around the same area repeatedly, don't dismiss it as quirkiness. Investigate. Your cat could be sensing an environmental hazard long before you do. 10. Grooming that halts abruptly. Cats are known for their meticulous grooming rituals, but if you've ever watched closely, you might notice moments where your cat begins to lick or clean themselves, then freezes mid-lick and sits there, motionless. This isn't laziness or distraction. It's often a pain response. Cats groom to comfort themselves, but when the act suddenly stops, it may mean the grooming triggered discomfort. For instance, licking near the base of the tail could highlight spinal pain or arthritis. If you see this happen more than once, note exactly where they were grooming when they stopped. That spot may hold the secret to an underlying issue your cat can't tell you about. 9. The one-eye squint. A slow, deliberate blink is often a sign of trust and affection. But what about when your cat squints only one eye while keeping the other open? This subtle asymmetry is rarely discussed, yet it can signal serious problems. It might be a foreign object lodged in the eye or an early sign of infection, but sometimes it's even deeper, a sign of neurological imbalance or head pain. Because cats are so skilled at masking weakness, this half squint might be the only clue you get for weeks. It's easy to overlook, especially if you assume it's just a speck of dust. But if the behavior persists beyond a day, it's time to take it seriously. 8. Rejecting food they normally guard. Cats can be picky eaters, but there's a difference between fussiness and refusal. If your cat suddenly turns away from a food they previously guarded with possessiveness, consider it a glaring red flag. A sudden aversion to a beloved food may signal nausea, dental pain, or even early organ trouble. But here's the part most owners miss. Sometimes the refusal isn't about taste or pain at all. Cats form complex associations between food and experiences. If they ate a certain meal before feeling unwell, even if the food wasn't the cause, they may forever link that flavor to danger. This shift in behavior is subtle, but significant. When a cat walks away from their favorite treat without hesitation, they're telling you something is deeply out of balance. 7. The double-take stare. Cats are naturally observant, But when your cat begins to glance at an object or space, look away, then snap back again in rapid succession, it's worth noting. This double take isn't typical curiosity. It often means they're perceiving something unsettling, a flicker of movement, a shadow, or even a sound too faint for your ears. While it could be as simple as a bug on the wall, repetitive double takes in the same area might signal an unseen problem, such as a pest infestation or electrical buzzing. In rare cases, this behavior reflects a neurological issue, where the cat's visual processing temporarily misfires. Either way, repeated double takes aren't just quirky cat antics. They're a warning that deserves investigation. 6. Sleeping far away from you after months of closeness. Cats are creatures of habit. If your cat has always curled up near you at night, only to suddenly begin sleeping across the room or in an entirely different space, pay attention. This shift often goes unnoticed because people assume their cat is just being independent. But cats tend to distance themselves when they're feeling unwell or unsafe. Sleeping alone gives them a sense of control over their vulnerability. In multi-pet households, this could also mean another animal is intimidating them subtly, even if there's no visible fighting. Whatever the cause, a sudden change in sleeping distance isn't just moodiness. It's a signal something has shifted in their physical or emotional world. 5. Turning their back mid-purr. Purring is often seen as the ultimate sign of a happy cat, but context matters. If your cat begins purring while interacting with you, then abruptly turns their back and faces away, it's not a casual repositioning. This action can indicate mixed emotions. The purr may start as self-soothing, but the sudden turn often suggests they're conflicted, perhaps enjoying your presence while also feeling overstimulated, anxious, or even in pain. It's easy to misinterpret this as sass or aloofness, but the truth is, your cat may be trying to manage discomfort privately, signaling through body language that something deeper is at play. 4. The soundless meow that never resolves. A silent meow can be cute, sometimes, but when your cat opens their mouth as if to vocalize, yet no sound emerges, and they repeat this pattern often, it's time to be concerned. Silent meows can signal a throat or respiratory issue, but they also reveal emotional strain. Some cats stop vocalizing audibly when they feel their needs aren't being met, a kind of resigned communication that's easily missed. The key difference? A single soundless meow now and then isn't alarming, but a persistent, unresolved pattern suggests your cat is struggling, physically or emotionally, and has given up trying to express it in a way you'll easily hear. 3. Pacing in a perfectly straight line. Cats pace for many reasons, from boredom to anticipation. But when the pacing is rigid and perfectly linear, back and forth along the exact same path, this is no longer playfulness. This behavior often signals a neurological imbalance or intense inner agitation. It may also indicate that your cat feels trapped in their environment, lacking a safe outlet for their instincts. Because the pacing looks so precise, many owners dismiss it as quirky personality. In truth, it's a red flag for serious stress or even medical conditions affecting the brain or spine. 2. Fixating on a blank corner with total stillness. We've all seen cats stare at nothing. It's usually amusing, until you notice the quality of their stillness. When a cat sits utterly motionless, pupils slightly dilated, locked on a blank corner or wall for an extended period, this isn't play acting. Cats have incredibly sensitive vision and hearing. They may be detecting tiny movements of pests or even faint vibrations in the wall. But there's a more unsettling possibility. Cats sometimes enter a trance-like state when experiencing neurological disturbances, such as partial seizures. If your cat seems unreachable during these episodes and doesn't respond to your voice, it's time to seek help. 1. Hiding in plain sight. Cats are known for hiding when scared or sick, but there's a subtle variation most people miss: hiding in plain sight. Instead of disappearing under the bed, a distressed cat might sit in an exposed location, like the middle of the room, but curl into themselves, tucking their paws tightly and refusing to engage. This behavior fools many owners because the cat isn't technically hiding, but emotionally, they've retreated completely. It's a sign of deep vulnerability, one step before full withdrawal. If you see your cat do this, don't wait for clearer signs. They're silently pleading for safety or relief, and they need you to notice now. And there you have it. Those are the warning signs you might have missed. Curious for more insights? Discover the best ways to make your cat feel safe and loved, or learn about what makes them feel abandoned. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more.